Hey everyone, this is Eric Silvermoon, and today is Silvermoon Wednesdays. Actually, I'm actually filming this video on Tuesday because it is the full moon, and so the energy has been just crazy, crazy, guys. And so I wanted to film this today so that full moon energy is still really embedded into this video because I wanted to talk about changes, personal changes, and then also to share with you a witchy haul. So the reason why I did want to talk about changes today, I needed to talk about it with the energies of the full moon um, on Tuesday, was just because it has been a really interesting month as of last month, and how things started with the new moon, the things that I've been wanting to manifest and all that stuff. And full moon for me really symbolizes a completion of something, an end of of a chapter in my book of my life. And so, if you think about it, the new moon is the beginning of the chapter, sorry. The full moon is the ending. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that the book ended. It just means that one chapter just ended and you continue to the next one and see what happens. And so as I'm kind of sitting with the energies of my, getting to the end of that chapter of my life, and kind of reflecting on the just everything of what just been happening, the energies that have been coming up, the triggers, the just everything, the whole completion of it has really hit me a little bit hard. And I'm gonna take a sip of wine. It doesn't mean that it hit me that hard where it's causing me to be an alcoholic, but it's just this is my sometimes when instead of me smoking, because I used to be a smoker, whenever I feel a little bit of just that energy tension or whatever, instead of doing that, I like to have like a glass of wine. So there's that. So okay, so today, as many of you have been following me on Facebook, know that I took my real estate exam today, and I've been procrastinating on the studying, and I didn't know why I kept doing this because I'm not a procrastinator. I tend to really throw myself into it, and take things very seriously, but the thought of this test kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I wasn't sure why. Um, and so I really procrastinated to the point where I only allowed myself a week, literally a week, to study. And the real estate exam, for those of you that either taken it or know a little bit about it, it's pretty crazy. I've been in this industry, which is the property management, real estate part of the industry, for 5 years now, and so I'm very knowledgeable in the property management side. But when it comes to the realtor side, I'm not so much informed. And so, um, kind of thinking about my future and how all this was going to play out, and why I decided to take so long. I really threw myself that in this last week into my studies, and I really pushed hard, and I took practice exams, and I kept getting 50% out of 150, which I would get 75 right and then 75 wrong. And I was just kind of like, okay, I should have really thrown myself a little bit more, but um, you know, so needless to say, I didn't pass my exam. I got 50% or 53%, which is just, I have to at least get 70% to pass. And so at least I kind of knew what the test was, or the exam was gonna have. At least now I know what's gonna be in it. Um, Everything that I studied, to an extent, wasn't really in it, and so I was prepared to do a lot of the exam part when it comes to the math, of the ratios and square footage and stuff like that, which wasn't even in there. So I spent a lot of time trying to do the math part because that's where I have the hardest time, and it wasn't even in the exam. So, but whatever. But through the whole thing, I realized that I was so relieved for two reasons. One, because it was finally over and I didn't feel stressed. And then the second was because something in me just didn't want to pass. I didn't want to pass. And the reason for that is because this is my passion. This is my spirituality, my witchy self. Um, that's my passion, my spiritual business, my readings, my all that is what I really wanted to do. And the whole career wise of property management was handed to me. It was literally handed to me from a dear friend that just wanted to give me the job. And I started from the bottom as a leasing agent, um, as a temp actually, before I got hired into the company. And so from that, I was just like, well, I'll just give it a try. But I became really good at it, and I am passionate about this job, and I'm very knowledgeable about it. Um, but I'm not as passionate as my spiritual business and my spirituality. And so I've invested a lot into these 5 years in getting myself certified in different things and having certificates. And this real estate one was, it kind of represents me really taking it as a priority. And when that moment where I looked at my score and it said I didn't pass, I felt a mixed feelings of just nerves of excitement mixed with disappointment, with defeat, and again with kind of that relieving energy. So for me, it was almost like, okay, I didn't, because for me the real estate exam kind of, or to get the license signified, or what's the word I want to use, it represented me taking this career as my main priority instead of anything else. And I don't think I want that. And so from it, I kind of know that, yes, getting that will mean that I'll have way more money um, for me and my family and getting some stuff that I wanted to do. But in that sense, it was just kind of like, it was an interesting energy. And so I have to work on my succession plan on how I want to make my spiritual business my main priority, and so that I could still have the, I guess, the safety of the income coming in and figuring all that out. Because I don't mind going to getting a different job like at a witchy shop, and I'll tell you why. So today, as my retail therapy from taking my exam and being there for 3.5 hours, it was so daunting. I knew I was going to be in Fresno, California, because that's where the test was going to be at. And one of my favorite shops is there, my witchy shop. It's the Brass Unicorn. Excuse me. And I was just like, okay, I want to treat myself for everything, for the energies, as a good celebration, to honor myself and the end of this chapter. I went shopping. So I'm going to share with you what I'm going to shop. It might be a really long video. I apologize, you guys, because it's going to be talking about the changes that are happening with me, and stuff that I got from the witchy shop, the haul, and also about my new book of shadows, which I'll share with you. So I'm going to drink the wine. Okay, so in this fun bag, I got these Tibetan, I can't even pronounce it. They're just prayer flags, and it was $8. There's a bunch in here, and I wanted to hang it right outside this window because it's a big wall, just a white wall that needs something. And so I was like, that'll be really pretty for me to be able to look out this window and see something very, very colorful, very fluid, and just moving, almost reminded me that that I'm creating the space around me, which is I want to have peace and magic that surrounds me, and love and abundance. And seeing these bright colors is going to bring in that really cheery energy. So I'm really excited to put this up. Actually, let's take a look at it. Let's open it up. So as you can see, there's like a lot of different colors, and I'm not really sure how big this is. Wow, this is actually really, really big for $8. That is a lot. I feel like one of those clowns taking things out of my sleeve. So that is pretty cool. So okay, so that's actually a lot more than I expected. So I can't wait to hang these and unroll them. I'm kind of weird, so I'm going to iron them to get the roll out, but that's cool. So I'm going to put that over here. The other thing I got is, some of you know again on Facebook that I've been going crazy on some really good incense. And so I got sandalwood by this really great, I love this brand, it's Satya. It just smells amazing. And I also got patchouli forest, which also smells freaking amazing. And it's going to add to my little collection over there. But incense has been really resonating with me right now. It's that aroma, it's that quick, instant happiness moment that I get from the whole ritual part of it, of lighting it, of doing my incense blessing where I do my pentagram and say my prayer, and allowing that kind of to fill my whole home and seeing that smoke linger. Sometimes, kind of most of the times, I witness when I'm doing my own things, the smoke will follow me. And before I knew it, the smoke is circling me. And for me, that's kind of a cool thing, almost like a blessing for me, that I'm being cleansed, or if I needed to be cleansed. And so that to me is a reminder that if I see that smoke following me, it means that I need to release something in that moment, or I need to clear the energies, because the smoke is attracted to whatever negativity is around me, and it's time to release it. So I've been really into releasing right now. And so I got these. So it's awesome. And I also got just some more candles. I got 4 white, 4 black, and then 4 white. I tend to use black and white candles a lot. White because it can represent anything, intention. So it can represent any color. It really is a fabulous candle to have if you just want to have all white and issue it a color. I think it's fantastic. But black for me has been really a color that represents release, shadow work, protection, when it comes to, not really protection, but a seal. I use black candle wax to seal a lot of my magic. And so I use it a lot. So I ran out, and so I just bought 4 more. So I'm going to put those over there. And hopefully they'll roll out. And then, okay, so this last thing that I bought there at this shop, I've been really thinking about the whole Book of Shadows thing again, because I have one, which I'll share with you the current ones that I have. I tend not to, I do see myself as a chaos witch. I tend not to be able to hold on to a Book of Shadows and actually put information in it, because I feel like it just doesn't do me any good. I can't have like a Book of Shadows that has the information about the sabbats and it has, how to set up an altar, stuff like that, because I feel like I'm beyond that, I guess, almost like advanced enough where I don't need the constant reminders, and I don't need it as a reference book anymore. And so I moved to maybe being like a journal, and me putting in, power thoughts, stuff like that. And I'll do it for a good moment, and then, I'm just always in my head and always doing things and not really, I do things where it's always different each time. So it's really hard to document that stuff. But this time around, I wanted to have almost like a alchemist kind of book where I'm actually just documenting my experiences and my feelings, and it will just really be all about that. So I bought a new Book of Shadows at actually Hobby Lobby. It was the only one there, so I'll share that with you. But before I share this last thing I bought, it is freaking gorgeous. So it is a calligraphy ritual set. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. And it's this right here. So can you see it without the computer glare? Let me actually do it by taking off the plastic. So it was actually pretty inexpensive in my opinion. It was only $30. And so I thought it was freaking badass. And so it has this beautiful crimson, like reddish quill. It has different writing options. It has this silver candle wax for sealing, and it has this really cool ink that has a seal cover in it. But let me show you. I didn't realize it had it, but the press is, I don't think you can see it, or maybe you can. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a crescent moon and a pentagram. And like I said before, pentagram is very sacred to me. The star is very sacred, and also crescent moons. I associate that with my spiritual name, SIlvermoon. So crescent moon, having those two together is freaking bomb. So having that was fabulous, and so I absolutely love this. I can't wait to use it. So I'm gonna put that over here. So that was it. That was pretty much it what I got from that shop. But I'm gonna share with you my book of shadows that I've had. I used to have other ones, and I would just if I wasn't gonna use it, I didn't feel right keeping it because I didn't want whatever was in it to fall into other people's hands. But so I ended up creating this monster size book of shadows. So see how big it is, and this is the front. So what it is, it's a almost like a, I can't even think of the word, but it's just like a big, it almost feels like a giant photo album, but it has like different things in it. And I bought it because I could refill it with a bunch of pages. And so, you know, I have like when I was drawing the archangels, I had them all in here when I was doing meditation. Different divinity goddesses that I work with. It has different things that I wanted to plan out. It has my entire handwritten tarot section where I wrote the meanings of the cards that represent to me, and I never got to finish it. It has the lunar stuff, which I did certain prayers. Let me just get this back in camera. It has certain prayers in it that I do under each phase of the moon, which I don't tend to reference it anymore. And then it just had a bunch of stuff that, this is pages from my old book of shadows that I ripped out to kind of put it under what I wanted to have, like the sabbats. And as you can see, it's so big that it's not really as, this is my page for Maybon, and it's not very user friendly. This is the one I did for Samhain. It has my ritual on the other side, but so I mean it's heavy. So it's not really much of use, but now I just kind of keep it as just because I like the way it is. And so most of you have seen my current one, which it's this one that I created. It has my my initials, Eric SIlvermoon. It has this really cool lock that I made out of two different things and a magnet. But inside it just has just different things that I was working on. It has business ideas, and so I think I want to keep it just for business notes on different things that I want to do in my spiritual business. You know, I think I am going to just keep it like that, of different ideas that I want to do, almost like a business journal. I'm going to do that. And so I felt really guided to start journaling, but in a sense of documenting my spiritual journey in the sense of in a scientific kind of mind of really writing my notes, writing my experiences, and with either spell work or meditation or you know, working with a current goddess, stuff like that, which I think is the whole purpose of having the Book of Shadows or Grimoire, whatever you want to call it, is so you could document your life as a witch of the things that you are experiencing. And so, you know, I think a Book of Shadows is very good depending on how you use it, because if you want it to, you know, have all the sabbats and all that stuff in it, I think it's great. If you're planning, I think, to pass it on to somebody else. And I'm not planning to have any kids, so as much as I would like to do this really cool artsy kind of thing, if I'm the only one that's looking at it, you know, it always psychs myself out, and I just don't want to do it. So to go with my new quill, which I will only use in this book, is this awesome one that I bought at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to take the plastic off. You can see it. And it is genuine leather. It is gorgeous. It's this really nice bond. It has this like thing that I could kind of wrap it, but I think I might take it off and do my own thing. I tend to always decorate my books. I tend not to keep it the original, but this is just fantastic. I did also buy this cool key because I wanted it to be, I'm going to wrap it around and then kind of tuck it in to be the sealing of the book. And then I have this other little key that is going to be a really cool bookmark that I'm going to do with like some crystals for inside. But the pages is all recycled paper, and it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know if you can see it. It's so soft. It feels like wool. Like the edgings of the sheets. I don't know if you can see it, but it just feels so soft. And it's not as big. And so I'm not going to probably use it too often because I tend not to do a lot of magic where I want to document my experiences too often. So I actually feel like this might be a little bit handy. But I could always have different volumes. So this could be like my first volume from, I guess, whatever, for a year. But so I haven't really planned out how I want to use it. The pages are pretty big. And so I might actually either fill it or just section it off. So the whole artistic mindset that I'm having right now is that I want it to look like if it was Da Vinci's kind of personal book of shadows, if you will. If he was a witch, who knows, maybe he was. I want it to look like that. So I wanted to have some of my sketches of being an artist mixed in with the calligraphy writing, and I want it to be my personal project in the sense as well as an artist project, but I still want it to be my experimental document of like things that I've done. And so I'm super excited to use this with the new quill, with the ink. I'm going to practice with the quill separately so I don't mess this up, because I normally like to do my own style of writing, and I really love the whole look of that ancient kind of calligraphy. Really beautiful. So that's pretty much it for my witchy haul. And I also wanted to share with you my new pendulum that I made. And I got this really cool chain at just Hobby Lobby, and I had some wiring that I bought there too. And so I was watching a couple of YouTube videos on how to wire jewelry, and so I was able to wire my own class with wires and making the loops and all that. So I thought that was really cool. But it goes over my head pretty easy, so I don't really need the class. But I had a very powerful, powerful gift from Shakti. When I was doing the One Ascension technique with her, she gave me this Herkimer diamond, which is freaking amazing. The moment I felt it, it unlocked something in my mind. So the key to me represents that. It represents that unlocking of the door to myself. And so, so I paired it with this other amethyst, and so I kind of wired wrapped them together to be a pendulum, and I hope you can see it. I'm not sure if it's doing justice to it, but it is really fantastic. And so I've already programmed it to be my One Ascension technique pendulum, and so it's going to be really fantastic. And so I'm actually going to be able to wear it so the energy's with me, and it gets to kind of marinate with myself with its energy, so we get to know each other before I actually put it into some One Ascension work. And so that was pretty much it. And so I'm actually going to put a video link from Feather, from the Witchy Mommy, underneath the description, because she's the one that inspired me to start writing again, because I jot down a lot of stuff, but I've never really really sat down and journal my experiences, and I really feel like I need to connect again with myself in that sense. I really feel like I need to talk to myself in writing. And so watching her video of her beautiful Medusa style book of shadows or journal, whatever she decided to use it as, is breathtaking. So she really inspired me. So thank you, Feather, if you're watching this, for the inspiration. But yeah, so that's what I really wanted to share with you guys today. Even though it's Tuesday, but I'm posting on Wednesday for SIlvermoon Wednesdays, my witchy haul, the changes that I'm going through. and then just, you know, the journey that I've been going with my Book of Shadows. And I really hope this is going to be my challenge for myself, is to fill it 100% complete in here, because I've never really fully finished the Book of Shadows. I maybe gone a couple pages in and then gave up. So this is going to be a good challenge for myself, and I hope that, I mean, I'm sure everything will be as it should be. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I know I always say this the same thing, but I really do. I really appreciate your support and your love and just everything. Thank you guys so much. Again, I always say this, but you guys are making this whole internet experience worthwhile, and I'm so grateful for everything. So thank you guys. Blessed be and happy full moon. Thank you.